The minute is not very hot, but other because of the trees. We have so many trees growing, huh? All the trees that I allowed, people said, isko kato, isko chato. I didn't allow it. Now those are the ones, कहते ना कि कुछ लोग आए थे पेड़ के छांव में पेड़ को काटने के लिए, तो बहुत गर्मी लगी तो पेड़ के छांव में बैठ गए, तो पेड़ को नहीं काट के, मेरा हाउस इज क्वाइट कूल, वेरी कूल, पंखा से काम चल जाता है, बट वी हैव द एयर कंडीशनिंग ऑन इन वन रूम ना, एक कमरे में तो लगा के रखते हैं। हम लोग कल परसों गए थे ना वोट देने।
Ma'am, you could you adjust your audio thing? It's not clear.
Okay, you can't hear me?
Yeah, no.
What do you want now? No? I'm trying to see. I'm using all kinds of. Can you hear me now? No. Listen now.
तुम्हारी आवाज क्रैक कर रही है रूपाली।
अभी भी?
अभी लिटिल ठीक हुआ है नाउ।
हाँ?
अभी ठीक है।
ठीक है अभी?
हाँ अभी ठीक।
Hi. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Not hearing. Can you hear me now?
Welcome to the poetry reading with Fertile Brains. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are live streaming on YouTube. You could check it on. Yes, last week we hadn't had this recital. I'm sorry for that, but yes, it goes on. So let us begin our reading. Let us call upon Manatita Acharya. Manatita just had a cup of tea, a coffee. Please welcome Acharya.
I'm walking home. I'm 3 minutes from the house.
Okay, so in meantime,
I have my poem up.
In meantime, I could call someone else. So please welcome Meena Chauhan.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, Prasanna, Rupali, all my poets. So आज मैं एक हिंदी में पोएट लिखी हूँ, पोएम आंसू, टीयर्स, आंसू। कुदरत ने कितनी सुंदर बनाई है आंसू, कुदरत ने कितनी सुंदर बनाई है आंसू। बहते आंसू को मत रोको, बहते आंसू को मत रोको, इनको तो बस बहने दो, इनको तो बस बहने दो। कुदरत ने कितनी सुंदर बनाई है आंसू। अपनी पीड़ा कह जाता है आंसू, कभी खुशी बनकर बह जाता है आंसू। कभी पीड़ा कह जाता है आंसू, कभी खुशी बनकर बह जाता है। तो कभी गम बनकर, कितना कुदरत ने कितनी सुंदर बनाई है आंसू। कभी खुशी बनकर बह जाता है तो कभी गम बनकर, कुदरत ने कितनी सुंदर बनाई है आंसू। इनको तो बस बहने दो। आंसू जब बहता है तो कुछ तो मतलब होता है, आंसू जब बहता है तो कुछ तो मतलब होता है। हर आंसू की कीमत होती है, हर आंसू की कीमत होती है। दिलों के मैल को धोता है आंसू, जी भी हल्का हो जाता है, दिलों के मैल को धोता है आंसू, जी भी हल्का हो जाता है, कभी खुशी के आंसू तो कभी गम के आंसू। बहते आंसू को मत रोको, कुदरत ने कितनी सुंदर बनाई है आंसू। बहते आंसू को मत रोको, आंसू करुणा के जल से हर बात कह जाती है। आंसू करुणा के जल से हर बात कह जाती है, जो बोल कर न समझाते आंसू समझा पा जाती है, अपना पैगाम सबको दे जाती। जो बोलकर न समझाते आंसू समझाती है, अपना पैगाम सबको दे जाती है। कोई कहता है मोती है आंसू, कोई कहता है मोती है आंसू, कोई कहता है पानी। बहता आंसू एक झलक में कितना रूप दिखाता। कोई कहता है मोती है आंसू, कोई कहता है पानी। बहता आंसू एक झलक में कितना रूप दिखाता। आंख से निकलकर गाल को भिगोता, आंख से निकलकर गाल को भिगोता और दूसरे दिल को छू जाता। आंख से निकलकर गाल को भिगोता और दूसरे के दिल को छू जाता। कुदरत ने कितना सुंदर बनाए आंसू, बहते आंसू को मत रोको। पीने पड़ते हैं सैकड़ों आंसू, पीने पड़ते हैं सैकड़ों आंसू। कौन है इस रिमझिम के पीछे, कौन है इस रिमझिम के पीछे। ये आंसू सारे के सारे किसके, ये आंसू सारे के सारे किसके। कितने सुंदर हैं आंसू, खुदा की रहमत है आंसू। आंसू ना होता तो क्या होता, खुदा की रहमत है आंसू। आंसू ना होता तो क्या होता। कोई हमें ठीक से समझ ना पाता, कोई हमें ठीक से समझ ना पाता। या खुदा कितना अनमोल बनाया है आंसू, खुदा कितना अनमोल बनाई है आंसू। बहते आंसू को मत रोको, खुदा की रहमत है आंसू, खुदा की रहमत है आंसू। छोटी सी कविता।
वाह, बहुत कुछ कह डाला मैम आपने। इट इज आउटस्टैंडिंग, आई वुड से। Tears are precious, yes, like you said, they are pearls of and they are God gifted sometimes, but excessive flow is very much dangerous. That is what I believe.
Yeah,
you know
right.
the tears should be in the balance, well, this, but jokes apart, man, it's a profound poem, man. That's I would say that by far the best of yours.
Thank you so much,
By far the
Prasanna.
best.
Thank you so much.
So far. Please give a round of applause, my dear friends. That was Meena Chauhan. Please welcome Acharya, client and career. Unmute your mics.
Bring on one more person because my computer is spinning at the moment. I think because you let me in on the other one.
Yes, go ahead.
Now, I was suggesting that I can't get to the poem because my computer is spinning because of the connection.
Oh.
When you allowed me into the laptop, it spins before it comes on.
Okay. So I could take in some others in meantime.
Yes.
Sure. Please welcome our next participant, a little poet, Swarna.
Oh, she's here. Very nice.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good morning or good evening, whichever applies to you, or in the middle. I have two poems today. The first poem is called The Golden Fire of Hope. Okay. Dance up a terrible storm that even the heavens can't ignore, oh wondrous one. There is no one that can stop those little arms and legs of yours. Upon your feet we wish every night, waiting for a miracle so true. the hope of the village burning bright from the light inside you. Shore eludes our hearts, no matter where we look. What is an anchor that doesn't support us when we have fallen? Need is just another prayer that wilts like a dead flower without the divine spark. Have some water, little girl. You need to build that power. You've been dancing for the gods like an unstoppable force to bring us heavenly rains for our ancestral crops. Care not for the silence that follows your steps, but for the hope inside you burns bright from the light of golden fire. Wind rustles the leaves of the oak tree as though tickling it playfully. Or maybe it's the breath of the Lord as he promises to give us back our sanity. Water's all we ask for in this land, and water's all we dream of in this desert sand. Roar with fury at him, my sweet, so that he might finally open his blessed eyes of beauty and weep for our pain. And we will drink with joy and gratitude his tears of rain. That was the first poem. Thank you all. This is the next one. This is called Newest Couple on the Block. Newest couple on the block, me and myself. The intimacy of deep, vulnerable self-love makes me blush. I want to know myself the way a tree knows its breeze. I want to use exquisite words to explain something simple, but my heart says it is more satisfying to use simple words to describe something exquisite. My heart is the all-time champion, but my mind is the underdog that throws punches anyway. So I haunt the corridors of poetry, waiting for lightning to strike me. Poetry is bearing your naked soul in public and hoping nobody considers it an act of vulgarity. We pretend enthusiastically that we have it all together. Is it a virtue to hold it all in? I just want to live my truth however it looks, as long as it feels good to me. Dream your dreams as big as you can, my heart declares. Otherwise, you're just negotiating with the universe. But beware. Where are you right now? I'm inside me. Where do you want to go? I want to go to the moon. Why? That's where it's most beautiful. Isn't it beautiful inside you? I never realized that before. Why not? Because I've been trying so desperately to reach the moon, I forgot about the sun inside me. Love shatters the illusion of distance between lovers.
Excellent. Excellent, Swarna. Poetry is there in your naked soul. Check it out on her website, Poetry Pearls. Isn't it, Swarna?
Yes, let me put the link of my new Patreon page on the chat. That way anyone who's interested can look it up and find my content.
Love your reading.
One of your poetry have improved tremendously. What a beautiful, two beautiful poems. And the first one was so amazing. I mean, so sublime. I mean, you improved. You've been around not so long as far as I know, but you've done very, very well indeed. Excellent.
Thank you. Everyone has been saying that, so I'm feeling happy that it is paying off my work towards going to open mics and workshops and all of that. So thank you so much.
Sublime work.
It's all because of the community as well, helping me to do this. So thank you.
Thank you, Swarna. Please check her website out and become a free or paid member. That is what she was. She became a serious poet now. That was Swarna. Please welcome our what do you call open mic artist superstar. He's been after a long gap. He's not reaching out. Unmesh Mohitkar.
Oh, he's here. Oh, very nice.
He's here.
Hey, Prasanna. Hello, everyone. Thanks a lot. Sorry, I'm not a regular. I'm not regular on open mics nowadays, but yeah, let's go. I am scared. Sitting at the corner of the road, the sun is shining. Dejections of life have broken me. Now, with me is only my shadow. Even my shadow hides when it is pitch dark. It loves light, and I see no light. Darkness exists only because there is light. The shadow looks at me. I see eyes in my shadow, only eyes, a silhouette with eyes. Eyes of my shadow are reassuring. The eyes of the shadow are full of light. My shadow tries to hug me, but she can't. If you get too close to what you love, the love dies. There is a Sanskrit saying, Ati Parichaya Avadnya. Over familiarity breeds disrespect. How is my shadow going to disrespect me? Is she going to leave me? Am I going to walk shadowless in broad daylight? Will the light allow shadow to run off from his clutches? I felt the shadow is jailed with me. She has got so used to slavery that the thought of freedom scares her. I look deeper in the eyes of the shadow. I can see her name written there, Mruga Naini, girl with eyes as beautiful as that of a deer or a gazelle. It did not say anything about my pain. It did not console me. It did not cry with me. It was like a betrayal. Even my shadow doesn't cry for me. But deep there inside, I saw the light which even now I am holding tight. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Oh my God. What a, I mean, very thoughtful and, sublime. And I like the Sanskrit lines, the reference of the whole poem.
Powerful return
Kind of
indeed.
a serious poem you're writing these days. Just let them. Yeah.
He's giving us a message of sorts there. Well, I'm happy you're seeing the light, as you said. Pangalaloof, put on the light. Sorry. It's an interesting
Brilliant. My goodness. Such a
Thank you, Prasanna. Thanks, everyone, man. You
serious
guys are
thing and
rock
very
stars. Thanks for
philosophical.
the support.
Thank you, sir. You're not conducting Unmesh this hour, just
Yeah,
beginning
I plan to start maybe this week. I don't know. Things are. I will try to move things.
You're not responding to messages even. So you're busy.
He's going to keep the shadows away first.
Yeah, trying to kick away the shadows. Yeah, you're right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was Unmesh. Please go, give a round of applause, my dear friends. Please welcome Jennifer Garnatz. Jennifer.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Happy to see you all. I am going to church in an hour, so I'm only going to be here for the brief time. I'm going to do a poem that is inspired by this Me Too movement that's been going around. So let me just get the poem. Yeah. No, it is the title. No. I said no. No is a no. It means I don't want you to do, say, whatever I don't want to hear or feel. It means I don't want you to touch me, kidnap me, take me elsewhere I don't wish to be. No means I don't want, I don't have, I don't like, I don't desire something, someone. No is not a sly, secret synonym used by girls, women, secretly expecting men to believe they really mean yes, allowing them to forcibly touch, kiss, caress, undress her without redress. You not accepting no would mean her heart full of dread, her body, mind go emotionless, dead. Her no means no. It's not a trigger to increase your erectile ego, nor cause you anger. It simply means stop. Let your fingers drop. Cut it out. Get lost. Don't do that. Immediately quit your evil thoughts of using force to take her as your source of carnal pleasure, while you abuse her privilege to decide whom she may allow to reap her benefits. Your greedy attitude proves you are unfit to touch any part of her skin. Don't commit such a grave sin. A female no means simply no. It's not a secret code for a hidden yes agenda that you got to remember. So her body, she'll never surrender to a vicious male wanting to touch her. A female means no. Don't do what she doesn't, what God forbids you not to do. Thank you.
You've spoken out. That's powerful. Yes, no means no. And that is very much empowering. And that voice needs to be heard. No means no. Exactly. That is kind of protest. And please give a round of applause, my dear friends. Jennifer, thanks for joining after a
Thank
long
you.
gap. We've been missing you.
Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
And
Prasanna.
please welcome Gulsin. Gulsin is from Russia. Please welcome Gulsin. Gulsin, yes. Gulshin finds it difficult to understand the language unless you have this interpreter. So Gulshin, Gulshin, can you Gulshin, can you able to hear us? Or oh, she is having this. So in meantime, we could call someone else. Please welcome the Dr. Mr. Santosh Kumar Pokhrel from Nepal. Kindly unmute your mic, sir. Santosh, please unmute your mic. Kindly unmute your mic. Santosh, please unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Yeah. Again, it's gone. Please unmute your mic. Santosh, please unmute your mic. Excuse me, Santosh, sir, please unmute your mic. Unmute your mic, sir. Oh my God.
Unmute. Yeah, it is okay now. Do you hear my voice?
Yes, please go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it took a bit of time. Yeah, thank you, Prashanda. Hi, everybody from Kathmandu, Nepal. Very happy to be here after a long gap, I think. So today, I would like to recite by one poem that I have introduced very recently. And this introduction is a debut in English poetry composition. So that is the name I have given to that structure is Pokhrelian stanza and Pokhrelian knots. And so there are several posts on this and my article that has been translated into several languages. It is being recognized that this is the new experiment in poetry writing. And I would like to read out one poem from that. And I'm unable to share my screen. I don't know what is the reason. Please let me read out that poem first. So if I could just share, I cannot share, but next time I'll do. Debut of Bhong Tet in the poetry world, the 20 lines poem. The Bhong Tet, it is from French word, Bhong, it is 20, and Bhong Tet, I have given its name. This is double decametric knot. This has 10 lines and starting from monosyllabic word and extending up to 10 syllables and squeezing back from 10 syllable to monosyllabic word. So it looks like a triangle and a trapezium in its structure. So this is morphosemantic trapezium. 3 in a slumber. Well, you won't slumber more. Spring has arrived in her full-fledged might. Leaves have begun to sprout from your dangling boughs. In case you don't bother wake up, the owl can soon wither and dry out. Well, you won't slumber more. Spring has arrived in her full-fledged might. Leaves have begun to sprout from your dangling boughs. In case you don't bother wake up, the owl can soon wither and dry out. You won't tell me then whatever you may, but you were cool to my utter dismay. I truly try to wake up you hard, and you won't get ready to start, as you are deeply rooted. Gentlemen, in this wild, you are just too mild. You have no say. Give away, ring bell, well. Thank you. This is the English poem written in Pokhrelian stanza. That is Pokhrel knots. And for this, the Nepal government copyright office has granted me a certificate of copyright for this genre. And this is being recognized worldwide, and poets from around the globe are trying to craft their beautiful poems under these syllabic rules. So this is my invention, very modestly and humbly I want to draw your attention. And I will be sharing this. I have shared one poem already here in the chat box. And you please also try, you will enjoy this poetry pattern. One poem I would like to read out from my recently published Hindi book poem. This is my book in Hindi, The Pahad or Sagar, very recently published. And its mini launch had been done in the Central Department of Hindi Literature under University, Tribhuvan University of Nepal. And I am hopeful that this book will go into the syllabus of a master's degree in Hindi from this year itself. If not this year, next year. Thank you. So I would like to read out one poem from here. The title is चिल्लाती चिंगारियां. तुम देखते रहो धरती जल रही है, आग के शोलों से दहक उठा आकाश, और धुएं के गुबारों से ढक गया अब कोई आकाश नहीं है. तुम देखते रहो धरती जल रही है, आग के शोलों से दहक उठा आकाश, और धुएं के गुबारों से ढक गया अब कोई आकाश नहीं है. जीवन भी जल रहा है, पखेरु गुबारों में खो गए काले आकाश में. धरती पर लौट कर आ न पाए, अब धरती पर सिर्फ तुम हो. अब रो तुम्हारी नियति है. मैंने 100 बार कहा आग जागने न पाए, तुमने मेरी एक न सुनी. चिंगारियां चिल्लाती रहीं रो रो कर, उन्हें जलन जो हो रही थी. आग भड़क उठी सैलाब बनके, चिंगारियां बह गई दूर. अब देखो काले धुंधले क्षितिज से निहार रही है दूर से चिंगारियां. सिर्फ आग ही आग है सीने में, आंखों में चिंगारियां नहीं, आंसू जो सूख गए हैं. अब शमशान में राज करो, अब शमशान में राज करो. थैंक यू.
Full of pure poesy, deep, very deep, and congratulations on your new form that has been, what do you call it? Got a copyright recognition from government.
Pokhreli nuts, because it starts from one syllable and ends with rhyming, the same rhyming syllable, one syllable. And it extends up to the center with maximum syllables. And from 3 lines, I have accomplished it in 20 lines. And I think that a stanza more than of 20 lines will a bit clumsy. And a single stanza carries out the full meaning of a poem. And it is, I think, that is far better and capable of expressing the ideas in very few words. And it excels any haiku up to date. So it is it has been globally appreciated, and poets have started crafting their poems and they are enjoying it. And I would like to request you all to craft your poems and see how does that look, and morphologically and semantically both. They are very beautiful. Structure is also beautiful, but you have to bind yourself with certain rules, because there are syllabic rules. You cannot break that, because and it has some rhyming pattern also. So it will give you out a very beautiful poem in one sitting. Thank you very much.
Great, sir. Great, sir. Hope people could use of your form, and they could, fickle with the words and all. So all the best, sir. Thank you. Thank you for introduction of this thing, and I would love to have you always. It's been a long time. Please give a round of applause to Santosh. Okay, all.
Thank you very much.
Gulshin, could you Gulshin, could you able to hear us? Gulshin.
Здравствуйте, hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. Please. Yes, please. We've been
Спасибо.
Please
Я
read out
рада,
your.
что я с вами встретилась.
One
Please
thing, Prasanna,
Aji,
if she needs any help of a translator or interpreter, I'm here to help her.
please,
Because
there
I
are
speak
two
Russian.
Russians that joined. I couldn't able to, one is Gulshin and the other one
Gulshan,
has joined.
Gulshan,
No,
Ага.
Gulshin and the other one,
приветствую вас.
Hello.
Если вам,
Я с Казахстана,
если вам,
Казахстан.
Если вам нужна моя помощь, то я могу работать переводчиком вашим. Пожалуйста.
Я на русском
Я
языке.
по-русски говорю. Я
Ага.
могу вам помочь.
Please ask her to read, sir. Please ask her to read.
Ага.
Вы-
Я на русском языке одно стихотворение сейчас прочитаю вам. На русском языке.
Хорошо. Хорошо, я
Sir, please ask her to read.
Ага.
Вы прочитайте.
Ага. Родина наша
She is going to read
находится,
out her poem. Now.
Родина ваша находится на соловке цветущем, и флаг голубой волнуется, знамя наше зовущее. Тоска по родине до неба племенем разгорается. Знайте же, люди, я хотела, чтоб счастливы были братья. Вал белого отала развернется шестикрылой юртой. Хочу, чтоб на куполе круглом восседали ласточки юркие. Родимые, скорее возвращайтесь, вас ждет, не дождется вот Родина. Тогда для вас закипит все Казани праздничные чувства подлинные. Братья, где вы далеко от нас, нам остается ожидать в аулах. Тоска по вам преследует сейчас в просторах теперь печаль в разгулах. Не находят места и мается. Я любовь чудакам не подарю, ведь Родина нас дожидается. Мы с нею узнаем цену добру. Спасибо. Казахстан.
Казахстан, приветствую вас. So she was reading out a patriotic poem on her country, Kazakhstan. So it was very difficult to understand all the things that she read out because it was not very much clear. But one thing was very clear, that all the lines were dedicated in praise of her country, Kazakhstan, and the people who are living away from their land. So she was calling them also to love their country, Kazakhstan.
Thank you.
That was the gist of the poem.
Lovely translation. Thank you, Gulshin. Thanks for making it tonight. And we have another one. Please, could you able to read, sir? And could you able to find her? I mean, like, could you please ask her to introduce herself? There is another lady. I mean, from
where?
Could you able to see her?
No. I'm not able to see her. Anyway.
No, there are two ladies. I mean, like, one is written in Russian.
Gulsin. I saw Gulsin and another lady I just saw in a glimpse, and she's not here anymore.
Please scroll, and I could not, I was just trying to, get her name, but she is not getting. In meantime, I could call upon Alexandra.
Кто-нибудь из русскоговорящих там другая поэтесса? Если вы хотите, пожалуйста, приходите на экран.
Здесь другой поэтессы нету.
А другой поэтессы тоже нет. Там она была одна.
Вот с нашей группой Айгуль Лебесова сидит. Вот Айгуль Лебесова с нашей группы. С моей группы. Вот Лебесова Айгуль.
What's your name?
Хорошо, а где она?
Вот
где она?
Айгуль, вот.
Хорошо. Приветствую вас. Представьте себя, пожалуйста. Она тоже будет читать?
Да.
Как ее зовут? Айгуль. Хорошо. Пожалуйста, пусть она представит себя и прочитает. Айгуль, добро пожаловать. Айгуль Белибесова.
Кыргызстан.
Из Казахстана.
Is she gonna read, sir? Is she gonna read? Please ask her. Is she gonna read? What's her name and something like that?
Yeah. Айгуль, как Беликасова, да?
Элебесова. Элебесова.
Вы из Казахстана, да?
Кыргызстан. Кыргызстан.
Ayagul Beli Kasova.
Элебесова.
Elebesova. She is Ayagul Elebesova is
Да.
Kyrgyzstan.
Okay.
Kyrgyzstan.
Oh, please ask her
Yeah.
to read, sir. Aygul, please welcome and please read out your poem from Aygul is from
Aygul,
Kyrgyzstan. Please welcome.
да, добро пожаловать. Прочтите свое стихотворение.
Please read. Ask
Пожалуйста.
her to read out.
Я могу только на кыргызском языке.
Хорошо, тогда я-то не знаю вот, киргизского языка, только знаю русский язык. Вы можете прочитать, а вы просто объясните, вот какая ваша тема там, о чем вы говорите, и прочтите свое стихотворение. О чем ваше стихотворение?
Please ask her to read, sir. Please ask her to read.
She is going to read out, but she will be, yeah. She's reading
Стихотворение
in his...
мое называется «Балама».
The title is
дочери.
Balama.
Дочери, да.
О
там
дочери.
Ask her to go ahead.
к дочери, да. Балама.
Хорошо.
Там
Балама.
говорится, что жизнь — это великий путь, который человек пройдет, и надо там увидеть только прекрасное, уметь увидеть прекрасного. Надо уметь увидеть прекрасного. Вот об этом.
В жизни, да? Самое главное, да.
Да.
Хорошо, я им объясню это. Это название стихотворения как называется?
Балама.
Балама.
Да, Балама.
Для дочери.
Has she finished reading, sir? Has she finished reading?
Yeah, she was explaining about her poem in Russian, that the title is Balama, and the title is Balama, and this poem is dedicated to the daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has she finished reading?
No, she is starting. Going to
please ask
read
her
out,
to complete. Please ask her to complete, because it's lengthy. It's
окей. Давайте, прочтите сейчас.
Давайте тогда на кыргызском языке.
Хорошо.
Астейдил сереп салып турсаң көңүл, ар күнү башталгансый жаңы өмүр. Өкүнбөй өткөнүңө көптең себей, буйурган насибиңе каниет кыл. Өткөнү байкалбаган сезилбеген, өмүр бул өлчөмү жок, чени жок жол. Мына ошол өлчөмсүздүк, ченсиздиктен көркөмүн көрө билген көрөгөч бол. Чыгыш менен күн батыштын ортосу, бир күнчүлүк улуу жүрүш билгенге, сөз деген бул акыл ойдун толтосу, сөздү багып, сөздү баала, кирдетпе. Все.
Thank you. Спасибо вам большое. So she read out Balama poem dedicated to the daughters, and she says that the life is for seeing good while you are alive. The main gist of the poem.
That's wonderful.
У меня есть русский перевод этого стихотворения, но не под рукой, книга там где-то. Я это не взяла.
Thank you, Aygul.
Есть русский перевод.
She wants to recite its translation in Russian. Do you allow her?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Давайте по-русски тоже, давайте.
Нет, по-русски есть у меня, но книга, надо найти ее. Там в шкафу где-то. Не взяла.
Ладно. Тогда мы можем связаться в Фейсбуке. Если у вас есть Фейсбук, найдите меня. Барканилиева со мной друг, она из Кыргызстана. Она перевела мои стихи, и она спела тоже. Вы знаете Барканилиеву? Ладно.
Хорошо, а
Давайте.
как вас зовут? Вас как
Santosh,
зовут?
Santosh Kumar Pokhrel. Santosh Kumar
Okay, sir, you
Pokhrel.
could carry on the
Santosh
chat
Kumar
later. Maybe
Pokhrel.
we
Yeah,
could finish
yeah.
it off.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So,
Thank you,
yeah.
Ayagul. Thank you for joining, and please,
Okay.
put in the English and the name in this. But next time, also be able to get there. Thank you for joining,
Yeah.
and please give a round of applause to Santosh and Ayagul. Thank you, Ayagul. Thank you. Please welcome yeah, Alexandra Psaropoulou.
Hello. This flying routine. Bring it on, life, every precarious safe haven, every toiling accomplished goal. Arcadians, children of the pre-lunar era. Your struggles, my struggles, entwining around each other. Pain sweetening through sharing. Waiting through centuries of darkness for a miracle to shine. Beams of dreams escaping the narrow bars of reality. Our labored sweat, our bitter patience, dissolving our struggles into the salt of the tear. Bring it on, life, every shatterable righteous law, every daggered, jubilant victory. Agatha demons, children of the absolute word. Your truths, my truths, powering around each other. Eternal debt for the unjust. Eternal gratitude for the just. Lightning condemnation of injustice. Defying mortality, determined to win all battles. Fiery anger sung by muses, kindling our truths into the tip of the flame. Bring it on, life, every fluctuating precious bond, every undulating sweet desire. Eteroluminescence, children of the solar cosmos. Your light, my light, shimmering around each other. Distancing in cold alienation, connecting in warm communion. Our sacred mating reflecting infrared wavelengths. Invisible bright frequencies, shapes and colors becoming visible. Absorbing and transmitting photons. Rippling our light into the foam of the wave. Bring it on, life, every delicate, fine-spun artistry, every frenzied, blissful awakening. Dionysians, children of a primordial orbit. Your passions, my passions, creating around each other. Art flooding with hues of emotions. Every aesthetic touch guaranteeing endless splendor. Ideal voices and thoughts, soaring like seagulls between land and sea, carrying elevated ideas through space and time, raising our passions into the upsurging of the spirit. Bring it on, O life, every vulnerable, steadfast vision, every evanescent, ultimate flight. Apollonians, children of the winged evolution. Your quintessence, our quintessence, goldening around each other. Thank you.
As always, Len, Alexandra, you spell us with your words and we transport to the ether realms. Always love, I love to listen to you, and such a calm and soothing. Thank you, Alexandra. Thanks for coming.
Bahut shukriya.
Bahut shukriya. Thank you. So, Acharya, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes. So we got Rawle and Isabel. Anil Martha was joined us for the first time. Isabel joined us for the first time, but for them, still have to wait. So,
Okay, I'll do rivers for honoring Mother Earth. Listening to the vibrant songs of the river. Excuse me. Listening to the vibrant songs of the river, I watched the water as it gushed, pulsing with majesty and mystery, between stones of white, brown, and silvery gray that seemed ready to concede. This was not new to me, as the golden threads of my memory were well rooted in such life-giving energies. Papa sent me there often, and I would carry sand or stones on my head for a mile, just so he could refurbish our house or build an oven from my riverside takeaway impositions. We boys love visiting the source of all this streaming consciousness, the natural fountain water flowed into a makeshift dam which overflowed with the force of the spring's bubbling ejections, racing down a winding path. This downward stream later mingled with the very stones where we caught crayfishes, undauntingly facing their claws with nothing but the nakedness of our hands and boyhood innocence. Rivers are the energies of life: Ganga, Jordan, the Nile, Congo, Amazon, and more. They speak to our souls of sound and silence and formlessness in sounds. There's a reverence and mystique enveloping their vibrancy, one that heals while waltzing in synergy, a symmetry that blends with our sanctity, eyes feasting on the richness of the meandering crags, the verdure of the surrounding ferns and foliage, the rugged edges woven from several years of seasonal change. For the mystic, a river is both a drop in the ocean and an ocean in the drop. Life is like that too. The microcosm is only a blueprint of the macrocosm. As all are connected, all are one. We can apply this to current commotion, where a mesh of interconnected shadows uses the inherent tendencies of greed, ego, and division to achieve their aims. Yet I'm equally affected, as each one's demise diminishes humanity. A river, like choppy waters crashing against rocks, can be boisterous. Yet beneath its turbulent surface, there's tremendous tranquility and equipoise, balance, an otherwise metaphysical experience of harmony in being. It is a testament of love and sacrifice, or oneness with our Creator, the perennial entity from whence we came, live, and have our being, and to which we shall return. The river of life flows like we do, without the grey mist of veils. We can therefore learn from its patience, dynamism, spontaneity, determination, and freedom. Its identification as well as courage and sense of purpose, so that we too can find our way home. Villains, like rivers, rise from west to east and vice versa. However, while rivers carry the tower of life, of consciousness, villains, fueled by greed and ego, follow a trajectory of self-destruction. Rivers trail across countries and continents like backpackers do, swearing allegiance to no flags, carrying the banners of peace. They know intuitively that a heart of oneness is a much greater flag, that a mind of tyranny and bigotry is doomed to fail, that love will always, always have the last dance in its own creation. London Carrier, thank you.
amazing. Like as I, listening to you is like reading a book, and I never, uh, speaks a lot. Please give a round of applause, my dear friends. Manatita Hutchinson.
Dhanyabad, my Baiji. Dhanyabad, all poets and the listeners. Thank you, thank you.
Please welcome Isabel I couldn't spell it out. Please, this is joining us for the first time. And yes, we'd love to have you, ma'am. Just, yeah, mic is yours. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. And I must tell you, this is a great sacrifice. It's, I'm in California and it's only just getting to 7:30 in the morning. So excuse me if I fall asleep during the middle of my poem. Oh my goodness. Last week, well, I hope to be teaching poetry in the public schools here in California in September, just 1 or 2 classes. And last week, I visited a class of 7th graders, and the teacher was giving them a prompt of a how-to poem to make or call it operating instructions. And it was about a little girl in an art class trying to draw or paint a donkey. So this is a very silly poem that I wrote after listening to this class. How to paint a donkey. First of all, how to pick a subject. And why did you decide to paint a donkey? Horses are more popular and elegant. Do I know anyone who has donkeys? Is there such a thing as a donkey ranch? Maybe just a neighbor with 1 donkey. And when you find one, how old is it? Is it amenable to being painted? If it's a young donkey, do you need to get permission from its parents? And where are you going to paint it? Is your studio big enough to hold a donkey? Do you need to paint it on a sunny day outside? Are you going to hold it down, tie it down to make it be still long enough? What color are you going to paint it? Are you going to use a brush or a roller? Spraying is easier and faster, but setup and cleanup is longer. And is somebody going to document this great event? Is someone taking photos? Can you exhibit the donkey or publish the photos? P.S. Don't use acrylic or latex paint. It won't wash out, and it might hurt the donkey when its hair grows out. Thank you. Very silly.
Not
Okay.
silly. It is actually, I mean, like, it provokes you to think something a little bit of, what the prompt is about, and you said it, in your way. Rupali, ma'am, how would you like to react on that?
Yes. Very silly.
Yeah, I think it's a very beautiful poem because, a very small, a very tiny little activity can bring about so many things being asked. And I think, Isabel, you've done a great job because you have, the whole trajectory of that donkey. While there is humor, there is a lot of concern also as to how the little girl is going to do the job. And there is also, you're helping her along. You're helping along to make that donkey and to be able to write a poem. To be able to write a poem on the simplest activity around you, I think says a lot about you as a poet, Isabel. And thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you. The original poem was written by a woman who's well known in some parts. I didn't know her, Naomi Shihab Nye. Her father was Arabic, and her mother American. And her poem was about this little girl in this art class. Her teacher said, the head is too big and the hooves are too small. And the little girl, it hurt her feelings, because she was trying to, she was very young, maybe 6 or 7 years old. But later the poem ends that in her adult life, she finds the confidence in herself to know that the donkey is just the right size. And it's very sweet.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
It's beautiful. I loved it. I really loved it.
Me too. But when I first heard the title of the poem, I thought they were going to really paint a donkey. So anyway, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, Kumar. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. That was lovely. And please keep coming and keep inspiring us with your lovely poems and all. So we could just cheer our way. That was Isabel. Please give a round of applause, my dear friends. Up next is Jaya Kalyanaraman. Please welcome Jaya Kalyanaraman.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay. My poem is Human Resilience Runs Deep and Wide. What was to be a 25-hour journey home turned into a nightmare most unexpected. Coming down the Aero Bridge, following the connection signages to make the last leg of her trip home, she was greeted by an endless ocean of people sprawled across the floors of the airport terminal. Heads bobbing like waves on a full moon night, some resting against pillars to support their aching backs. Never seen such an influx of people before, trying to find out where her boarding gate was. She was told to join the queue. There was no queue, just hordes and hordes of people, squashed from every side. It hardly ever rains in Dubai, but some strange phenomena inundated the city, submerging everything in its vicinity, throwing flight schedules out of gear, stranding travelers of all ages, colors, and nationalities, humans giving in to their vulnerability. No doubt, everyone's patience had been tried and tested, not just travelers from across the globe, but also airline employees behind desks, food counter, chock-a-block with stranded passengers, arms reaching out with food coupons in hand, greeted by apathetic staff and empty shelves. The passengers were handed out water bottles and biscuits, as if there was even an iota of space to accept this. Stuffed like sardines in a can, to move a limb was beyond them. Most ground staff couldn't look one in the eye, instead stared into nothingness when a question was asked. Their fatigue writ large on their face. There seemed no point in talking to them at all. In the midst of that unruly queue, sloganeering and chanting, but no one listened, added to the din and noise. Arguments gave way to a sobbing man who bawled unashamedly, while someone thrust some water down his throat, bringing him back to his normal demeanor. It was now the Russian girl who cried silently into her cupped palm. It was an arm around her shoulder from her fellow passenger that held her in comfort before she calmed down. There was a young French-Canadian miss whose partner stood far back in the queue, sending written messages in French passed to him by those down the line, easing the stress situation for a while. Whistles and sounds of laughter accompanied this postal route. Then my daughter addressed a man in the queue. Handing him her cell phone, she said, "Mr. Tall Man, please take a pic." The raised phone made everyone stop for an instant. They turned in the direction of the camera, smiling, then returned to the claustrophobia, madness, pushing and arguing. Another 30 hours later, she touched down in her hometown of Bangalore, only to lose more time waiting at the carousel and filling a non-arrival of baggage form. Reaching home quite spent, she recounted her trauma through tears that couldn't dilute her pain. But she heaved a sigh of relief when the penniless Russian and the so-in-love Canadian messaged to say that they finally reached their destination. It made her think of people trying to escape war zones across the world, of the desperate chasing aeroplanes on the roll, seeking a means to somehow reach a place they could call home. In comparison, this wasn't bad at all, but an experience, nevertheless, that will stay for as long as memory lasts. Thank you.
Wow. I was intently and keenly listening to that, the performance, one. And anybody, if you would like to react on Jaya Kalyanaraman's poem, please go ahead. How about?
Yeah, I'd like to say something, Prasanna, if I may, if you give me your permission. When I listened to the poem, of course, it's recounting a very harrowing, affair at an airport. But it's also a matter of great concern and a wake-up call for all of us. Because, we are taking things too much for granted. And the climate change and the kind of devastation that we are creating around us. So no matter how much money you may have or money you may not have, you may be traveling first class or traveling, economy class. It doesn't matter. You're going to be trapped into all kinds of conditions if you don't watch out. And I'm sure Dubai must be a very, posh airport where people, just pass through very easily. But these are warning signs for us, warning signs of ecological devastation. So in that sense, I think your poem has conveyed much more than just, some difficulties that passengers have faced. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jaya ma'am. Yeah, please.
Is communication, it just occurred to me, is communication transportation of words? Your poem was very, I think we all, if we go out of our houses ever, we're faced with being surrounded by a lot of other people and all sorts of situations. But it just seemed to me that, we're here, we're communicating our words and our thoughts, and it's a different kind of transportation. Thank you, Kumar, for providing this streetcar, this bus for us. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sabal. Thank you, Jaya ma'am. That was really, I mean, that's what I said. In a few minutes from now, we will be taking a rally, and rally had this very kind of, serious kind of issue that is battling, is fighting for, and we'll take, from him. But yes, before that, please welcome Dr. Rupali Sarkar.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prasanna. Am I clear? Because I, seem to be using all kinds of borrowed gadgets. I don't own anything, so I'm always borrowing things and then having a problem. Some years ago when I was teaching in Delhi University, the question of Palestine was on. This was sometime in the 80s. And a few students of mine and I were invited to the parliament, the annexure of the parliament, to speak on Palestine. And somehow that time came to my mind the other day. And I have not been able to write about, all that is happening around. For some reason, sometimes your pen doesn't work. So this poem says, I remember that day. I remember that day many years ago, when the annexure of the parliament, we had spoken for Palestine. I have not forgotten those young men who had so joyously hugged us. We too were young then. We had spoken for them, for their right to a homeland. They only wanted peace in their lifetime. It seems not so long ago that they spoke of peace. Then who and what filled those hands with gunpowder? And they thought little of mothers and children blown to bits. Then when guns and missiles turned around and pounded the city of Gaza, killing children who play no part in violence, the world watched in by horror. Here, where swaddling clothes are morphing into shrouds, no place to bury them except laps of mothers freshly dead. I can't write poetry about the smoke and the howls of pain and agony and the lamentations of butchered children. Those videos you upload to tell us what is happening, I shut them off. They are unbearable. I'm helpless. I'm no longer young. The fire in me is dying. The embers no longer smolder. I can no longer speak. My voice is weak. I don't know who wants what and who should have what. I'm only scrounging for bits and scraps of life, lingering amid smoke and the acrid smell of burnt flesh. One day the sound of guns and cannons and the deafening explosion of bombs will be silent. But the simmering, boiling, rancid, death-defying smell of hatred and anguish will smolder and smolder and wait. Every day I read of the forthcoming elections, the fight for the ballot, the corruption with rising food prices, and push those other images away. The villages of Dalits are being burnt. Their women and children are being raped. The bombs are falling. They're falling somewhere far away. O poet, rise out of your stupor. Remember, we are the world, we are the people. Let our voices be the clarion call, the voices of poets who will perhaps break down the walls. So this is my protest. I can't write about war. And then there's this very short poem, which is a prompt. The prompt was silence of cacophony. The silence of cacophony. This is a silence which is full of cacophony. It is so because the cacophony has been silenced. Why was it silenced? Because the cacophony contains many voices, and the voices are choked with blood. If allowed to regurgitate, the silence will explode and spill blood into the cities and villages, into drains and sewers. A flood of voices, voices of protest. It will echo through drain pipes and toilets, through filth and manholes, and will be heard, and everybody will come to know the truth which has been silenced. There will be lamentations and snarls of fierce anger, abuse, and hatred. Better to conceal the cacophony in silence. The many voices will not be heard. Thank you. I know it's a bit dark, my poems today, but they come out of my inability to write now about the things that are happening around us. Thank you so much.
Poets, you need to, the stupor, that is what you mentioned in this thing. And as I mentioned, and the first poem is like I was talking about the Rawle. That's the one work that he's been doing yesterday. It reminds me of that, as there was part of his work, and Somdatta Mitra was there, and Manatita ma'am would be was there. They were there, and how this medium and this kind of things that happens, and could bring change. I mean that would change. Try to. I mean, we could bring a lot. I mean, change in terms of that. And I would wish to call upon Raleigh and deliberate upon it and shed a few light of his. So and this event that he had this event with 13 to, and I mean like 12 to the 19-year-old kids. They are basically from refugee camps, and they had read out this kind of poetry which we can never ever think of, even the mature adults. Even that I was I mean like I was surprised when I got to hear that 13 years old reading out a kind of poem. I mean, it's like, Raleigh, over to you.
Thank you, my brother. Thanks for being there yesterday. It meant a lot to have you there and to listen to these young voices. So yesterday I put on a special show for 8 young voices that are currently living in a refugee camp in Malawi. I think all of them but one, all are from the Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, who's been caught up in war and strife for decades now. And they had to run. They had to leave their home to end up basically as prisoners in a refugee camp in Malawi. They're not allowed to leave their camp. They're not allowed to really intermingle with the people of Malawi in their local community. So they live a very restricted life, although they're safer from what they were in. So I guess a lot of times it's all relative to how we look at things. So you could have stayed in your country and risked dying, or you could run and flee and kind of lose freedoms and restrictions, but you're alive. So, who am I to say what is right, what is wrong? All I know is that yesterday, because of our inability to truly recognize that we're all human, and greed and power, we have these kind of problems that we do. Look at what's going on today, Palestine and Israel. This is not a new conflict. This is an old conflict. And many people think they know what's going on, but most people just get what they get from the news and then react. And so these are all conflicts that have a lot of validity on both sides of the argument. Same thing with what's going on planet Earth. We have so many things going on that we don't ever stop to think, we're dealing with other human beings. And that's been a constant battle throughout humanity. As much as things seem chaotic this present time with all the strife that's going on, there's still a lot of good going on in the world. And we tend to forget that when the harshness comes about. I'm a part of the International Academy of Ethics, and I was having this debate conversation about that. And there's a number of people that believe there's no love and kindness on the planet and blah blah blah. And I go, if that was the case, we would not be in existence. So I try to bring about a sense of balance and invite people to remember balance, because the atrocities that are going on in the world aren't just going on by people of power. We do them in our daily lives every day. We point fingers at others because maybe it makes us feel better, particularly ones in power, not realizing we do a lot of the same things, maybe in smaller degree, every day. And even the ones in power that are doing harshness still do good. So, it's like an old saying, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So I invite people to be balanced in regards to how you look at things, and do a bit of research before you start jumping and protesting. It's not that we shouldn't fight for justice and for helping people, but do you really understand what you're fighting for when you're protesting? Because many people, I've found out, really don't. And this has been constant throughout our history.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, I invite people to really look at how life is, because we are here. I don't know why we're here. I just know we're here. And we've been here for a while now. And we're here to experience the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful of life, not just the good and the beautiful. Just examine your own life. Nowhere in your own life you've only examined good and beautiful. We live in a world of duality, of contrast. If we did not have the opposite, we wouldn't know what anything was. As much as we hate it, peace and war go hand in hand. So, I'm just a simple man. I look at life simply. I am not a scholar. I didn't go to school. I just pay attention to life. So I appreciate you giving me this time to say this. I'll end this with a poem that I wrote, excuse me, called Being Human. I was asked the other day by a good friend, are you feeling burnt out? And without thinking, I quickly replied, no. Why do you ask? As I pushed back at my friend's question. She said, don't get me wrong. You look good, but tired. My knee-jerk no was me being triggered. But why did I? Was there truth in what she had asked? And if so, why was I triggered? And if there was no truth, why did I get triggered? Truth be told, I am tired. I'm tired of the illusion, delusion, illusion of the fight. Women's issue, gender equality, indigenous rights, racism, religious freedoms, economic equality, sexual freedom, identity politics, climate change, global warming, wealth gap disparity. Did I miss anything? All I see is humans denying humans. And that's what exhausts me. It drains my empathy like a vampire latched to my neck. I feel depleted of intellect as I wrestle with the big question nestled deep in my being. What does it mean to be human? Like where the cats meow. From above, looking down, no color could be seen or gender identified, just maybe a speck. Yet us versus them has us trapped in a prison of imaginary lines. Parliamentary democracy, republic, communism, green, liberal, libertarian, socialism, progressive. We're all under gravity's totalitarian control on this not so flat earth. Now, gravity may deny my ability to soar with the birds. And my eyes may not be as sharp as when I was a younger man, but I only see humans denying humans. So maybe I am tired. Maybe I am burnt out. But I still believe in the illusion. I haven't lost hope. What does it mean to be civilized and intelligent as we spin 460 meters per second in this, the paradox of the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful? To me, that's what it means to be human. End of peace. Blessings and thank you, folks.
I think it's very Rupali ma'am would concur with me. Like, that's why I called Raleigh. Soon after. I mean, like immediately after her performance. Maybe that's Rupali ma'am. Please react on it.
Yes, I think, completely resonate with what he's saying, because there is so much going on. I don't know, as I said in my poem, that I don't know who wants what and who wants what, but somewhere something is happening, and I had ended the poem with very, in a very dark way. But then, as you said, that, somewhere we have to be civilized, somewhere the human, being human. So the last verse I added, that we have to pull ourselves out of the trash and find the beautiful, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. And so I'm very happy that, what I felt when I wrote the poem, and you have been not only living that life, perhaps very closely watching it. I may be more distant, in a classroom as a teacher, but you have, as you said, been, closer. And I think, we watch life very closely. We see that there is so much that we can do, may be able to do, but we have to do it. I don't think we have any option. There is no option. Somewhere we have to do what we have to do. So even being here with Prasanna is something very important. I'll go back tonight having heard you, and taking back your words. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for yours. Yeah. I just think, particularly when you live in a society where you have decadence, and I don't mean in the amount of stuff that we have, in the decadence of the values that we live, that we take for granted, the principles, the values, the laws that we have. And the majority of people don't want to know what's going on in the world. They're too busy with their own lives and surviving and so forth. And yet you're surviving on a planet that we all depend on. We're all breathing the same air. We all drink the same water, right? We all have to come into this world through a woman, and then one day death will take us all. So how are we different? We're different in our practices, but how are we different? And we've been told that for centuries, we are different, we are different, we are different, and we're still holding on to tribal beliefs. This is why I put in that piece, if we're truly civilized and intelligent, a civilized and intelligent person will one day realize, based on past experience, that we're actually not different, right? When are we going to get past that this simple pigmentation is enough to say there are different races on this planet? There is but one race on this planet that's made up of 31 different flavors. We all do the same things, we just practice it differently. And maybe one day, if we get past seeing that we're so different and we have more in common, we might start taking seriously our lives. And I'm talking from a collective standpoint, because as far as I know, this is the only earth. There's not another one waiting. So we can't do whatever we want with it. And our life is finite. Our life is finite. One day I will die. And I have no fear of that. My thing is, how am I going to live? And how am I going to encourage someone else to live? So then again, I could be foolish and have lost my mind a long time ago. Who knows? So anyway, thank you, brother. Thank you.
No, you have a beautiful thought. You're really very, very beautiful thought. Yeah.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Rupali ma'am, that, would like to call those, at the, yeah, Jaya ma'am, please.
I just felt that you were voicing the emotions of many of us who are so alive to what is happening in this world today. There is this constant sadness, a constant sense of guilt for being where we are. And the only thing, it's even reaching a point where you feel guilty for the space that one is in. And yet you say, there but for fortune go you or I, And it reminds me of Animal Farm and George Orwell, where we are all born free, but we are in chains everywhere. So you've really triggered off a whole bunch of thoughts in my mind. Thank you so much for your poem.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jaya ma'am. I would like to have the special feature with those kids. Yesterday, we'll try to rope them up, and you would enjoy that. Not enjoying. It's not about enjoying, but they would make you think and ponder over. With that note, before calling Somdatta ma'am, I would like to call upon Sujata Paul as doing a wonderful work, but she has to get into the kitchen. That is what she mentioned. And so those who are coming here, please take your time off and spend your time with, kind of serious discussion that happened. You're not showing up, kind of showcasing your poetry or something like that. So please kindly note.
Brother Prasanna, actually, I just noticed your invitation a few hours back. I was in a hurry somewhere else, so to listen. Thank you very much for inviting. Hello, am I audible and visible clearly, Kumar?
Yes. A little bit louder. Audio is late.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for inviting me, dear brother Kumar, and providing me the opportunity to listen to these lovely, wonderful poetic souls around the globe. I'll be reading a very small and simple poem. And this is Sujata Paul from Tripura, India. Okay. The title of the poem is
Ma'am, Didi, your voice is cutting. Could you bit, louder? Can't hear you. It's not voice with this.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, please.
Title of the poem is Humanity. Rakib gained fame, money, power, everything. Rakib gained fame, money, and power, everything, but he had the least sense of fellow feeling. Indra observed the world is divided by the borders. The world. But she cared for her pets, watered the plants that made surprised her parents. Anirban, the blind man, who couldn't see the beauty of this beautiful world, but conveyed humanity, gratitude, love towards others, that we, the healthy ones, miss sometimes. Humanity is not the thing which one has to teach by force. Humanity is not the thing which one has to teach by force. It's the inner feeling which one should convey so that he can, in future, he should never remorse. Thank you very much. And I'll be happy if Jaya ma'am and Rupali ma'am say something regarding my point. Thank you very much once again.
Yes, we couldn't hear, majority of your words, and so audio is terribly. So it was about humanity, yeah. Hello.
Not heard, it was not heard clearly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's.
Rupali
She
ma'am, do
said,
you? Hello. Actually,
Yeah.
the approach of storm is approaching. So perhaps due to poor network.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please share your poem in the chat box so that other could read it and appreciate and say all about humanity that you talked about. That's a nice piece that you come up with. That's what we are talking about always. This humanity as Rupali and Rawle and we Manatita and Somdatta. We always talk about that. That you came up. Thanks for coming up with such a kind of a nice poem. Thank you. That was Sujata Paul. Please give a round of applause, my dear friends. Please welcome Debendra Kc. Debendra Kc from Nepal. Please unmute your mic, sir.
Very good evening, Prasanna sir. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Good, sir. Please go ahead.
Are you getting me, sir? Can I start from a Dohe from Banas Kumar Banat?
Please go ahead.
Banas Kumar Banat. Can I start from it?
Sir, your voice again, could you turn off your video? Could you turn off your video and then you could recite your poem? Maybe that's how we could resolve the cutting issue of the audio issue.
So getting it, sir?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, maybe. Now getting, sir?
Yeah.
के शहर मैं माटी का ढेर मुझ में भी बस जाएगी खुशबू देर सवेर मुझ में भी बस जाएगी खुशबू देर सवेर. So everybody is talking about the planet, right? How to save the planet. Can I go with my poem, Save Our Planet?
Please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. So, save our planet. Scientists are great. Since its birth, men have invented hundreds and thousands of new things which change the earth face. Yesterday's impossible became today's possible. Today's impossible may be tomorrow's possible. Man have already established the city below the sea. Man have already reached to the moon. But yet in this universe, the earth is only the better shelter, where every living beings are breathing easily. The floras and faunas, the rivers, lakes and gorges, the deserts, the snow-capped mountains are all necessary elements. Importance of every living being including protozoans to the big animals. Each and every plant, whether smaller or bigger, have their own value in this earth. Not only in the modern science and technology, but also in Hindu mythology, the oldest holy books, Vedas, it has been mentioned that the earth have every kind of valuable items and also mention about their preservation. To complete the life cycle, every ingredients in this earth are equally important. A poison for one living being may be medicine for other. Deforestation is really a destructive work which badly affects the ecological balance. We, the luckiest animal in this earth, who can do good things, who have the good brain, we must unite together in this global village. The bad event in one corner of the globe may also affect another part of the globe. All are inside the same net. So let's join hands to save this beautiful planet. Let's join hands to save this beautiful planet. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Let's join.
Thank you, sir.
Let's join hands to save this planet.
Hands.
Afforestation. Thank you, thank you. Afforestation is needed. Yeah, so always to reduce the pollution and environmental degradation. Thank you, sir. That was lovely. That was on not saving a planet Earth. Please welcome Dr. Somdatta Mitra.
Good evening, everyone. Good morning, wherever you are in the part of this globe. Greetings from my side. I'm so happy I could see Rawle Iam James today here on this platform. And one line that has really motivated me, which he recited, that is human defeating humans. So this is a very strong line that impacted me a lot. And I was really triggering in my mind when I shall start something over that line. Anyways, today I have come up with a poem, self-written poem, that is in a collaboration with someone. Before I begin my poem, I want to read one or two lines about what it is. It is about a Santhal girl. We all know the Santhal ethnic community in our country, and they are the largest and one of the oldest tribes in India. They are spread across Assam, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, and West Bengal. And from time immemorial, they have cleared forests, tilled the land, and produced food for subsistence. So it is related to a Santhal girl of that community. It is quite unusual to think for a poet that a Santhal girl dreaming about a wonderful career in the defense is something we do not relate to usually nowadays. So I have come up with this poem. The title is Dreams of a Santhal Girl. And I have uplifted the spirit of the Santhal girl while she is dreaming about a wonderful career in the Indians Defense Academy. A Santhal girl, a dream enclosed in a dark, tight box, craving to bloom to light, is the flame deeply filled in her heart, yet bitterly withheld by chains of cultural misconceptions that label her makeup a taboo to flourish in that desired floor, limiting the realization of her passionate capacities. And won't fly to those heights if she can't wear efficacious armor to overcome barriers. Young, effervescent, and dauntless, her dusky complexion complemented her unbridled passion. Her bright, dazzling eyes featured an enigma that she was secretly weaving dreams to be a professional female pilot. Opportunities to rise high was never ever aspired by any underprivileged or tribals in that community. She was perhaps an exceptional to drive hard over that expectation. Passion and self-motivation flow in her veins, igniting her boldness to stand the whips of storm around her, and she steps her feet forward with warm brio. To the marvel of doubting and daunting eyes, chasing her dreams with broken legs. And one day you will see her eating the fruits of her alacrity. Quite staunch in her perceptions, she partook to the NDA exams with exuberance. She qualified for the 3 years rigorous training in the National Defense Academy, India, while meditating. A journey from Kalau youth to the Indian Air Force flying branch commiserated into a groove. Now she lives her pretty, passionate dreams, a mammoth pride to her parents, hope to her siblings. Her blazing zeal, her robust relentlessness have all made her overleap the unfriendly bounds. Oh, look at her now. She's a star that brilliantly shines, showing a trail to many more of her race. As a denizen to the Indian Air Force flying branch, her dauntless courage and Meraki mirrored her shackles, and euphoria engulfed her, opening various aspirations. Gliding and swifting to break the taboos, she joined hands with her inhabitants for the usual tribal dance in the forests, uplifting her pride and dignity, as today she ought to be a role model in a proclivity. This was my first poem. The second poem is about a berry vendor that usually we see in a locality, in the lanes, in the streets, near our house, always calling us to buy those berries. One, in Hindi we know it as jamun. The other is I don't know the name exactly. It's in brown color. It's a brown berry, and it's very tasty. And you take it with black salt. That really tastes very good. So in my childhood, I had met this gravia wala. The title is the gravia wala, this vendor, and he was very, very affectionate to me. And he used to really dance on the street whenever I used to approach him, and he used to be really, really very loud about his affection. So it is a fond remembrance of that gravia wala that I have tried to express in this poem. The title is The Gravia Wala. He would visit the neighborhood with a loud cheer, the vivacious gravia wala from Gehamar. At once the innocent souls would instantly gather. Fresh and tasty gravia, fresh, fresh. Often it was heard from the busy beaver. 8 times he would uproar. Nobody could restrain the temptation, even while they would snore. It seemed he was an apple of our eyes, as the taste of gravia always attracted us, and we were mesmerized. His cart was discolored and seemed to be quite old, but he was a man of 48, as we could behold. With an enthusiasm and charm, he would captivate the locality. The song he murmured to sell the fruits was indeed a formality. Our love for the gravia increased as days passed by. The Gehamar man arrived every day sharp at 5. Some grey salt he would apply on the fruit to our delight. It often added much other, even if the fruit was simple to taste. In our childhood, we had much to reserve his memories, as the vendor never indulged in a haggle in an entity in our boundary. He wore a turban on his head, and we witnessed his fine, thick moustache. He would wipe it several times as he drank water to meet his thirst. His disposition and love for children always took to a delight. I have never met such a warm-hearted person ever in my life. I often enjoyed some extra fruits that he picked up all at once. From the cart, he would secretly put them on my basket while we would dance. He would wink at me to cheer every time. That compassion and affection, I would always reserve it in my heart for my lifetime. It matters most how careful he was to entertain us. The song he sang is still afresh in my mind as I recall his flamboyance and restlessness. Thank you, Prasanna sir, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, everyone, for listening me.
From being inspirational to kind of inspirational tribute to nostalgic, going down to the memorial line in the childhood,
Yes,
remembering those vendor and all.
generally we do not talk about the people who are around us, who always entertain us, who every day gives us a lot of affection, a lot of love, lot of care, which might at times are unheard or, not voiced out. So this was an attempt over that. Thank you.
And that only makes you stand out, being, yes, being a poet, compared to other. So you could
Thank
just.
you so much. Thank you. It's an honor. It's a
That
pleasure.
was Somdatta, ma'am. Please give a round of applause, my dear friends. Please welcome Debashrita Basu.
Hello, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Debashrita Basu from West Bengal, India. My first poem is in English. The title of the poem is A Prolonged Desire. The hunt within me for you is always there. Without you, it seems meaningless, nothing, and void. An ornamental tree with profuse leaves and flowers is beautiful. But what about the hidden truth of its beauty? A sight of beauty is definitely impeccable. A golden sunset, a rose, even a baby. All enjoy their beauty copiously, but fail to attain that peak of beauty. Beauty is the effulgence of divinity, the powerful sacred rays that makes everyone captive. It is a declaration of selfless love, brotherhood, the way where tolerance, wisdom, care reside. Yes, the universe is within you, O imperishable. The creator who created you is unseen. You too are invisible and subtle. Who know you win the life. My life is a white blank paper like a vagabond, filled with your beautiful colors of universality. Beautify my mind with your golden ink. Give me a space to enjoy the journey. Thank you, sir. And the poem is in Hindi. The title of the poem is जीवन. शीर्षक जीवन. जीवन के हर एक पन्ने को देखो. एक एक पन्ना लाजवाब तस्वीर जो है, कहीं रंगों से भरा तो कहीं फीका, कहीं सूखा है तो कहीं भरा, कहीं सरलता है तो कहीं जटिलता. जीवन को जीना मतलब एक अलग साहसिकता. इसका मजा तो इसके भिन्न रंगों से है. कुदरत ने भिन्न जीवन प्रदान की है सबको. रंगों से खेलना तो हमको है. सुख दुख का चित्र तो हम बनते रहेंगे, पर जीवन को उपलब्धि करना मतलब अपने अस्तित्व को पहचानना, ईश्वर से रिश्ता बनाना, हर एक कठिनाई को जीतना, हर एक पहलू का उपभोग करना, क्योंकि दुख को जीतने के बाद जो संतोष होता है वही जिंदगी है. थैंक यू सर. थैंक यू एवरीवन फॉर लिसनिंग.
I like the way you ended it. वही जिंदगी है. बिल्कुल 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 बिल्कुल. वही जिंदगी.
Thank you.
Beauty is the effulgence of divinity. Beautiful line.
Thank you, sir.
Beautiful. Wow. Wonderful, wonderful. That was Debashrita. Please give a round of applause, my dear friends. Please welcome Gangalaxmi Patnaik and Shyamaprasad Patnaik. Miss Dr. Gangalaxmi Patnaik and Mr. Shyamaprasad Patnaik.
A pleasant evening to one and all present here. I am delighted to wish you a happy Sunday and like to recite a poem. The title of the poem is I Wish I Were a Flower. I wish I were a flower, interested to be a flower. Flowers are beautiful, meaningful, sentimental, fit every occasion. From celebrations to sorrowful events, flowers touch lives of every person and put smiles on their face. So the poem goes like this. I wish I were a flower. It's a great feeling in sunny air. If I were a flower, I would be very happy and joyous. One that's pretty, pink and blue, one that closes for the night, and a day opens anew, eye-catching colors, heart-rending fragrance, swaying in the breeze, dancing to the sunshine. I wish I were a flower, and you were just walking by, and picked me as your own, held me captive in your fingers. It's my desire. Now, recitation of second poem is about indoor plants. Change your home environment, boost your mood, improve your health, add some indoor plants to your home. You can feel the flow of energy throughout your living place. The title of the second poem is Touch Nature in Home. Touch Nature in Home. In her good old days, mother told beaded beauty of house plants, wearing shades of transparency matter in our lonesome moments. I thought growing plants inside, creative, nature rewarding. When the plants flourish, it's a feel-good project all the way around. Indoor plants do not just look good; they make us feel good too. It's biophilia, our inner attractions to living flora and fauna, bring a touch of nature to the home. Caring plants improve focus, lower stress, keeps mind from negative thought patterns. Money plant, snake plant, peace lily, rubber plant, palm plant are well-known lucky indoor plants. Love your plants. Remove dead leaves. They will love you, reward you by putting on new growth. Good watering keep plants looking and feeling good. I see indoor plants standing, its belly swollen with oxygen. Scatter indoor plants like aloe vera, tulsi, money plants, best air purifiers, anti-radiators, excellent balm for sunburns, effective defense against airborne allergies. I have completed the second recitation. Thanks, dear poet friends and brother Prasanna. Thank you.
Beautiful, ma'am.
How do you
Nice.
feel?
Is rubber plant is a kind of indoor plant? I mean, it's like
Rubber plant. Leaves are very big, and its stem is also fat. Rubber plants. It's a very big plant. All the botanists are keeping this rubber plant because it is very costly to maintain.
Thank you, ma'am. That was
What type of plant you have kept in your house? Money plant.
all kinds of indoor plants. Maybe that's what you mentioned.
Keep aloe vera. Aloe vera.
Aloe vera. So
Aloe
please,
vera.
that was Dr. Gangalaxmi, ma'am. Please welcome Shyamaprasad Patnaik.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Actually, there is some technical glitch. I'm sorry. So I'm going to present two poems, one in English, another in my mother tongue, Odia. The first poem which I'm going to recite is having the title About Humanity. Humanity nurtures emotions. What is humanity? Adopting a human approach towards society. Rise above materialistic pleasure, focus on others' well-being. Always be human, never be mean to anyone. Extend your generosity to emancipate oppressed and downtrodden. Inner feelings and psychology shapes your empathetic perceptions. Magnanimity, benevolence, humanism, enhances welfare of other persons. Never expect anything in return for your nobility. Humanity harnesses love, kindness, sympathy, compassion, and commiseration. Humanity enlightens altruism, morality, helping attitude, and generosity. Humanity emphasizes prosperity, happiness, and wellness of others. Humanity is better known as protection of rights. Humanity nurtures emotional feelings, uplifts spiritual strength. And that is the end of my poem about humanity. The second poem which I am going to recite is in my mother tongue, Odia. As usual, ମୋ କବିତାର ଶୀର୍ଷକ ହେଲା ମୋ ପ୍ରେମ କାହାଣୀ, ମାଇ ଲଭ୍ ଷ୍ଟୋରି। ଆମ ପ୍ରେମର ଅବିସ୍ମରଣୀୟ ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତର ସ୍ମୃତି ସମ୍ଭାର ତଥାପି ମୋ କଳ୍ପନାରେ ବହୁବାର ଉଙ୍କି ମାରେ। ଆମ ଚାରି ଚକ୍ଷୁର ମିଳନ ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତର ଛବି ମୋର ମନ ମସ୍ତିଷ୍କରେ ଆପଣା ଛାଏଁ ଆଙ୍କି ହୋଇଯାଏ। ମିଳନର ପରବର୍ତ୍ତୀ ବିଂଶାଧିକ ବର୍ଷ ଅତିଶୟ ଉତ୍କଣ୍ଠା ଏବଂ ଆନନ୍ଦରେ ପରିଣତ ହେଲା। ତୁମର ମଧୁର ଚମତ୍କାର ଏବଂ ମୋହକ ରୂପର ଯାଦୁ ମୋତେ କବଳିତ କଲା। ତୁମ ସୁନ୍ଦର ନୀଳ ଅବିସ୍ମରଣୀୟ ଚମତ୍କାର ନୟନ ଯୁଗଳ ମୋ ଆନନ୍ଦକୁ ବହୁଗୁଣିତ କଲା। ସେହି ଚିତ୍ତାକର୍ଷକ ରୋମାଞ୍ଚିତ ଦ୍ୱିପହରର ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତ ସବୁ ଗୋଟି ଗୋଟି ହୋଇ ମନେ ପଡ଼ିଯାଏ। ଯେତେବେଳେ ତୁମର ସମର୍ଥନ ପ୍ରାପ୍ତ ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରେମର ପ୍ରସ୍ତାବ ଦେଇଥିଲି, ତୁମେ କୌଣସି ଶବ୍ଦ ଉଚ୍ଚାରଣ କରିନଥିଲ, ବରଂ ତୁମର ଗଭୀର ଅର୍ଦ୍ଧନମିତ ଆଖି ମୋ ଆଖିରେ ଯୋଡ଼ିଦେଲ। ତୁମେ କେବଳ ନଖ କାମୁଡ଼ି ଭୂଇଁରେ ରେଖାଙ୍କିତ କରି ଓଠ ଏବଂ ଚିବୁକ ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ମଧୁମୟ ସ୍ମିତହାସ୍ୟ ବିନିମୟ କଲ। ପ୍ରେମର ମାନେ ଭଲ ଭାବରେ ବୁଝିପାରି ଦୁହେଁ ଏକ ସ୍ୱପ୍ନର ମହଲ ଗଢ଼ିବାର ଶପଥ ନେଇ, ତଥାପି ସ୍ୱୀକୃତି ପାଇଁ ମୋର ମଧୁର ଯତ୍ନଶୀଳ ସ୍ନେହୀ ମାଙ୍କ ଠାରେ ମୁଁ ମୋର ତୀବ୍ର ପ୍ରେମ ଅଭିଳାଷକୁ ପ୍ରକାଶ କଲି। ମା ମୋର କଠୋର ନୀତିବାନ ପିତା ଯାହାଙ୍କ ସାଥିରେ ମୁଁ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା ପାଇଁ ସାହସ କରୁନଥିଲି, ତାଙ୍କୁ ବହୁ କଷ୍ଟରେ ମନେଇଥିଲେ। ଶେଷରେ ଆମେ ଦୁହେଁ ବିବାହର ଅତୁଟ ବନ୍ଧନରେ ଆବଦ୍ଧ ହୋଇ ଜନ୍ମ ଜନ୍ମାନ୍ତରର ସାଥୀ ହୋଇଗଲେ। ଆମେ ଏକତ୍ରିତ ସୁଖ ଦୁଃଖର ସାଥୀ ହୋଇ ଅନେକ ବର୍ଷ ଏକାଠି ଅତିକ୍ରମ କରିସାରିଛେ। ଦୁଇ ହୃଦୟ ଏକ ହୋଇଥିବା ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତ ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ମନେ ପକାଇ ଆନନ୍ଦାଶ୍ରୁରେ ଆଖି ଓଦା ହେଇ ଆସେ। ସେବେଠାରୁ ଅନନ୍ତ ପ୍ରେମ କାହାଣୀ ଏକ ଅବିରତ ନିର୍ଝର ଭଳି କୁଳୁକୁଳୁ ନାଦରେ ବହି ଚାଲିଛି। And this is all about my love story. Hope you like it. Thank you for watching and listening. Thank you for watching.
We always love your renditions, sir. We love your Odia poem and English.
Yeah.
They talk about humanity and what is about what it means, and that's so well put. That was Shyamaprasad Patnaik, my dear friends. Please give a round of applause. Please welcome Sridharan Parakodi. So just like so many of poets. So please welcome Sridharan Parakodi, Mr. Sridharan Parakodi.
Am I audible, Ji?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then as usual, I have to recite two poems. First in Malayalam. Ammayuda Nilpa. Ammayuda Nilpa means mother is wonderstruck and she's looking at her boy, son. ഉണ്ണിക്കുട്ടൻ ഉറിയിൽ തൂങ്ങി വെണ്ണയെടുത്തു കഴിക്കാനായി എണ്ണ നിറച്ചു കഴിച്ചപ്പോൾ വഴി താഴത്തെത്താൻ കാണാതായി. ഉണ്ണിക്കുട്ടൻ ഉറിയിൽ തൂങ്ങി വെണ്ണയെടുത്തു കഴിക്കാനായി എണ്ണ നിറച്ചു കഴിച്ചപ്പോൾ വഴി താഴത്തെത്താൻ കാണാതായി. അമ്മയടുത്തു വരും നിഴൽ കാൺകെ വടിയുടെ നീളം തോന്നുക മൂലം. അമ്മയടുത്തു വരും നിഴൽ കാൺകെ വടിയുടെ നീളം കാണുക മൂലം ചാടി പെട്ടെന്നോടുകയായി, ചാടി പെട്ടെന്നോടുകയായി, പാൽമണമെങ്ങും തൂകുകയായി, പാൽമണമെങ്ങും തൂകുകയായി. അതു കണ്ടമ്മ ചിരിക്കാനാകാതയോ കണ്ണു നിറച്ചേ നിൽപ്പൂ. അതു കണ്ടമ്മ ചിരിക്കാനാകാതയോ കണ്ണു നിറച്ചേ നിൽപ്പൂ. Malayalam song, then a short lyric for lifestyle. Lifestyle. Listening. There are 2 points for cry and love. There are 2 points for cry and love. In between the two, a wide range of visions are there. In between the two, a wide range of visions are there. To accept and reject. To accept and reject. Some dialogues are also misleading. Some dialogues are also misleading along with the meaningful funds. Along with the meaningful funds. Accept and reject. When I try to save the digits, I pressed and they all are deleted. When I tried to save the digits, I pressed and they all are deleted. Further attempts made the device mute. Further attempts made the device mute, making me in darkness. Making me in darkness. Okay, thank you very much.
Accept and reject, and that's a very well put, sir. With your few words, you say a lot. So that is something beauty of yours writing, and I always love your readings and the utterance and the singing quality of yours.
Thank you.
Beautiful. It's
Thank
always
you.
bring a flower of soil. Please welcome Dr. Please give a round of applause to Sridharan, Mr. Sridharan Parakoda, and please welcome Lieutenant Colonel Gopal Burdhani. Sir, please unmute your mic. Purdhani, sir, please unmute your mic. Unmute your mic, sir.
No, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir, please.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका प्रसन्ना साहब। मैंने अभी एक पोएम सुनी है संथाल कम्युनिटी के बारे में। मैंने संथाल, क्योंकि मैं जानता हूँ बहुत बहादुर लोग होते हैं, मैंने काफी भर्ती की है आर्मी में संथाल कम्युनिटी। और मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ सबको जो कि आर्मी जिन्होंने ज्वाइन नहीं करी, कि आर्मी में आना कोई कैरियर ही नहीं है, ये देश प्रेम है, देशभक्ति है, दिल में दर्द है देश के लिए, वो लोग आते हैं। मैं कॉलेज से पढ़ता निकल के आर्मी में आ गया था, पूरा किया नहीं मैंने। तो आज मैं देश प्रेम की ही एक दो छोटी छोटी कविताएं आपको पेश करूंगा। कि ऐ मेरे वतन, मेरे प्यारे वतन, ऐ मेरे स्वदेश, सच्चे मन से मेरा सुन लीजिए संदेश। तो संदेश क्या है? मैं समटाइम बिकम वेरी पर्सनल। एक एक बूंद लोगों की जब देश के लिए निकलती हुई नजर आती है, तो आपको इस कविता में नजर आएगी कि ऐ मेरे प्यारे वतन, किसी नन्हे बालक के होंठों की मुस्कान है। मेरे लिए देश क्या है? किसी नन्हे बालक के होठों की मुस्कान है। मुझे प्राण देने वाला तू ही मेरा प्राण, मुझे प्राण देने वाला तू ही मेरा प्राण। और मैडम रूपाली जी को बहुत बहुत नमस्कार करते हुए मैं कहता हूँ कि मेरी पत्नी के घूंघट की लाज है तू। मैडम, मैं अपनी पत्नी के बारे में बोल रहा हूँ, पर्सनल बोल रहा हूँ, अपना इज्जत के बारे में बोल रहा हूँ कि मेरी पत्नी के घूंघट की लाज है तू। मेरी बेटी के, मेरी नन्ही बेटी के एक नया अंदाज है तू। और फिर मेरे बेटे के निस्वार्थ स्वाभिमान है तू। है मेरे देश, मेरे बेटे का निस्वार्थ स्वाभिमान है तू। मेरे परिवार की, है मेरे देश, शान है तू। तो मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ अपने देश के लिए कि तू मेरे सूरज का प्रकाश है, तू ही मेरी धरती है, तू ही मेरा आकाश है। मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ अपने देश के लिए? मैं जी सकता हूँ तेरे लिए और मर सकता हूँ तेरे लिए। है मेरे देश, जरूरत पड़ी तो कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ तेरे। और एक छोटी सी 4 लाइनर है कि मेरे हिस्से की धरती का आसमान है, मेरे हिस्से की धरती का आसमान मेरा है, ये देश मेरा है, ये जहान मेरा है। कभी रहा होगा कोई दुश्मन का इलाका, मैडम, कभी रहा होगा दुश्मन का इलाका, जहां शहीद हुआ मैं वो शमशान मेरा है, जहां शहीद हुआ मैं वो शमशान मेरा है। एक और छोटा सा 4 लाइन का पेश कर रहा हूँ कि पैदा हुआ जो इस मिट्टी से, पैदा हुआ जो इस मिट्टी से, वो हिंद का कर्जदार हो गया, और इसी पुख्ता सबूत से वो मेरा भी रिश्तेदार हो गया। पैदा हुआ जो इस मिट्टी से, वो हिंद का कर्जदार हो गया, और इसी पुख्ता सबूत से, पुख्ता का मतलब पक्का सबूत से, वो मेरा भी रिश्तेदार हो गया। मिलजुल के रहने वाली सब जातियां एक इस देश में संयुक्त ही परिवार हो। बहुत बहुत नमस्कार।
बहुत धन्यवाद। वंडरफुल पोइट्री। आपका तो पोएम्स तो बिना कमेंट करके मैं जाने नहीं दे सकती आपको। The kind of feeling, we all write patriotic poems, we write about our country, but when it comes from you, it is so authentic, so genuine, so real that जो हम कहते हैं वो फीका ही रह जाता है, because somewhere we have doubts. आपके पोएम में कोई डाउट नहीं होता है, कोई भी डाउट नहीं होता है। वो देशभक्ति is pure, absolutely pure, as pure as the Ganges.
आपसे बहुत सीखा, आपसे बहुत हौसला मिला, और ये जो पोएम मेरे वतन मैंने पढ़ी, मैंने आज ही लिखी।
वंडरफुल।
बड़ा अच्छा लगता है।
बहुत अच्छा लगता है आपकी पोएट्री। One of the things that I really feel is that it's, patriotic poems हम सब लिखते हैं, कभी ना कभी लिखा है, but you're very special. You're very very special because आपका बहुत दिल से, दर्द से, आप दुश्मन का इलाका आपका, जहाँ आप शहीद हुए हैं वो आपका है। that claim, I don't know if any of us can on this forum make it, It's an incredible.
मैं वो शमशान मेरा है, उसको कोई नहीं ले सकता, आज भी नहीं और 100 साल बाद भी नहीं। वो शमशान मेरा है। मैं आपको अर्ज करना चाहता था कि अगले महीने मेरी एक पोइट्री की किताब छप रही है
जी।
कुछ अमंगे मेरे अंदर जो है, उनका जो मैं पेश कर सकता हूँ, जो आपसे मैंने पाया है, वो आपको देने के लिए अगले महीने मेरी एक और किताब छप रही है। तो इस तरह से मेरी 15 या 16 किताबें हो जाएंगी। तो
वंडरफुल।
मैं हिंदी की वो पोइट्री की किताब है, और अच्छे पब्लिशर हैं आपके किए हुए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much.
You being very honest with your feelings and expressing those emotions of yours. Frankly,
Yeah.
I mean, very honest, kind of, I could see in your face that is, the expression says a lot. So that is something uh, that we, that like ma'am said, you experienced, right? Like, yeah, soldier, we everyone can't write, but that's only a basing on imagination. But you have lived it and you experienced it and you have fought, and that comes truly from your one's heart, your heart. That's Gopal Purdhani sir. Thank you for inspiring us with your true emotional expressions. Thank you. That's
बहुत धन्यवाद.
Please give a round of applause, my dear friends.
Thank
Uh, please welcome our next poet, Manjula Asthana Mohanty. Manjula Asthana Mohanty is a professor. Please welcome.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. And thank you, Prasanna, for inviting me here. And I'm really enjoying listening so many different poems and different subjects and different emotions. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to enjoy all those things. And I will read out one English poem first, then one another poem. This is regarding our old parents, old people. Those we are seeing that they are getting neglected these days. So, keeping the idea in mind, I had written this poem long back. Steal a day. Excuse me. Steal a day. Aspire to steal a day. Be with beings like a human. Shed off other responsibilities. Be common. Respond only to the incognizant. Urge of call within. A deep spiritual clamoring where old and young are alike. Vibrant wrinkles of old faces narrate thousands of stories. Glee in their young eyes, anxious to grab those legends. Hold affectionately those shaking hands, Care's palms. The young in zealous verve transform olds too. Save age-old culture in sheer ignorance, while civilization turning upwards down, such place no less than shrine of goddess. Survival, procurement of heritage, religious beliefs, most precious, pious task responsibility. Whole world is running where don't know, losing ourselves crystal clear. Acute need to steal time for finer feelings, satisfy them, save generations, save yourself. Save generations, save yourself. My other poem is in Hindi. The title is अच्छा होता. जिंदगी गुजर जाती हंसते गुनगुनाते मुस्कुराते तो अच्छा होता. जिंदगी गुजर जाती हंसते गुनगुनाते मुस्कुराते तो अच्छा होता. न होता अगर बोझ कांधों पर तो अच्छा होता. दुनिया चमकते दमकते रंगों से चकाचक, कोई तो रंग सच्चा होता तो अच्छा होता. कुदरत के अद्भुत नजारे खूबसूरत रंगीन प्यारे प्यारे सदा हसीन रह पाते, सदा हसीन रह पाते तो अच्छा होता. भीड़ सी लगी रहती चहुं ओर प्रियजनों की, भीड़ सी लगी रहती चहुं ओर प्रियजनों की, कोई तो मनमीत सच्चा होता तो अच्छा होता. तैयार किया था खाका मन में दुनियावी बुनियाद का, तैयार किया था खाका मन में दुनियावी बुनियाद का कोई तो चित्र उभर आता तो अच्छा होता। चाहतों सपनों का छोर नहीं, प्रबल इच्छाएं कोई भी पूर्ण हो पाती तो अच्छा होता। दिल नन्हा सा आकर्षण हजार फुसलाते रहते हैं बारंबार। मासूम मन को बहला पाती तो अच्छा होता। है फहरिस्त बहुत लंबी कुछ पाने की इरादों की, काश बयां कर पाती तो अच्छा होता। हम सब हैं राहगीर बस जुटाते हैं असबाब। हम सब हैं राहगीर बस जुटाते हैं असबाब सफर के लिए। है छूट जाना सब यही समझ पाते। है छूट जाना सब यही समझ पाते तो अच्छा होता, तो कितना अच्छा होता। धन्यवाद। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर लिसनिंग।
बिल्कुल मैम, बिल्कुल मैम। ये
Today's throat is troubling a lot.
Yeah, but you have given out a wonderful message. Acha hota. Everything you put it in that. So
Thank you so much.
so beautiful way of expression, and the way you convey the message is very beautiful. I mean,
thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for joining. Please welcome, please give a round of applause to Professor Manjula Asthana Mahanti. Please welcome Richard Spisak.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. It's an honor to be back. I'm broadcasting today from my my hospital room, but I am making progress. So I want to thank you all for letting me come back in today, Prasanna. Thank you, brother, as always. This is a little piece called Positivity is No Luxury. Positivity is no luxury. Ultimately, that falls on me. It is a little fall like a kitten whose mittens are recalled, or a total anecdotal calamity that befalls the poorest entity of all. They say relies on me for a culinary treat made from a dazzling array of lizard parfait, somewhat late at the end of a long, boring date, or say attend a concert that I'd rather not play, using an 8-piece tuba ensemble, say, or an 80 bass band that performs a 3-movement etude on a fire alarm. My earliest transcriptions on the theme of Jules Verne's mission, a collision, the voyage destroyed to the moon. Yes, again, the trumpiest of trumpets will noisily swoon. Over the facts of the vax parlay, at the end of the day, they won't still groom the goat, so they say. Though the mortgage of their reason amidst such extended season of COVID, doing much like it once did, they'll remain unconvinced like the bottom's Peter Quince. Understanding polarity is by no means a solitary barbarity. It's just the old bipolar nature. Its requirements are gratefully matured by the meanest of excuses, the dizziest of perfidious of muses. Is there a plus he cussed into her fluffy feathered muff? Or is the needle at zero like some kind of movie hero who runs on and on exactly the opposite of some kind of fawn? But when the hero nears zero opines that after earthquake and upheaval, oh, the opportunities abound, oh, they are not quite near zero. I mean, what's a disaster for but change? The old ways are understood now as, let's say, well, out of range. And where the musicians arrange some kind of exchange for quiet, like the tiniest of interstitial microdot riot, but the era of positivity plays as the bestest of Western parlays when it ignores and explains the obvious noisiest rattling away. But the recovery of new facts makes even the windstorm relax. And as it's redistributed the leaves and seeds, oh, well, it's just a sneeze. Thank you, my friends. It's an honor to be with you again.
It's an honor to have you with us, sir. Please give a round of applause to Richard. He's been, I mean, I don't have words to express my gratitude for coming. He's been in the, he's still, and I mean, like he's in the hospital and still he could make it. That is shows is the spirit. Oh my God. You're a real poet, you're a real sensation, you're a real speaker. Whatever the words that's come out, it truly speaks your heart.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Positivity is not a luxury or whatever. It's Richard, we love you always. We love you always. Thank you, Richard. Please welcome. Someone, I think we have finished our reading. Yes, Saraswati ma'am and Jayashree ma'am. Jayashree ma'am, please welcome to the show and please recite your poem. Ma'am, unmute your mic, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Hello. Good evening. Bengali New Year Baishakh. My gratitude, all of you. And I want to pray for all of my friends. This is called Bangla Navabarsh. My poem, but today is too much late. Otherwise, I can read 3 poems, Hindi, English, and Bengali. But I want only a poem, one poem, Glorious Emancipation. Mind the gap and mind your steps here. Don't risk everything right now. Don't you ever repeat the sins of Adam and Eve, for the life has many faults. Insignificant but painful. Do you find your life resembling the caged birds, continuing to leisurely movements, but without freedom ever? Are the Buddhist monks still roaming thirsty? Do you know for sure? End of life has a definite shape. Open up everything and honor the soul within. See what the life has left for you. A glorious emancipation. A glorious emancipation. Thank you. Thank you. Bengali is happiness. We promise our happiness every day, but this is not real life. সুখ চাই, অনেকটা সুখ দিতে পারে কে, এমনটা কারো জানা নেই। সবুজ মখমলের দেশ থেকেও একখণ্ডা মেঘকে দিতে পারে, এমনটা কারো জানা নেই। উত্তালে ঢেউকে বিছিয়ে দিয়ে ফেনিল ফেনায় নেভাবে পরিতাপ, এমনটা কারো জানা নেই। যজ্ঞের মঙ্গল দ্বীপে জ্বালবে প্রেমের শিখা, বাজবে শঙ্খ নিনাদ, বুঝবে ত্রাস, এমনটাও কারো জানা নেই। আপনি চলো আপন খেয়ালে, পূর্ব পশ্চিম উত্তর দক্ষিণ কিংবা ঈশান নৈরিতে, রুদ্ধশ্বাসে অচল ইমারত থেকে চুয়ে পড়া আরো কিছু শ্বেত রক্ত গাম নিয়ে সঙ্গী মনে সঙ্গপনে ভাবনার নির্যাস দেখে রক্ত শতদলের লাল আভায় প্রতিটি শিরায় উপশিরায় বন্ধনহীন গ্রন্থিটাকে আরো উন্মুক্ত পৃথিবীর বালুকা বেলায় তলিষ্ণু জীবনে স্থান করে নাও বলগা হরিণের মতো নিথর স্বপ্ন মাখা মায়াবী আর একটু সুখের দিকে মায়াবী আর একটু সুখের দিকে হ্যাপিনেস মিন্স Maya. This is called Upanishad Maya. This is the Shayari gifted by my friend. Just a second. Just a second. The related with theme and related with my thought, today's poetry which I read. खुद मैं महसूस हो रहा है जो खुद से बाहर तलाश है खुद से बाहर तलाश है उसकी और बात तो कुछ और थी कुछ और ही बात हो गई और आंख ही आंख में तमाम रात हो गई और आंख ही आंख में तमाम रात हो गई ये है हम लोगों का जिंदगी हर पल हर दिन हर समय चेंजेबल अनचेंजेबल। कृष्ण कुमार जी आज बहुत बहुत थैंक्स क्योंकि टुडे my 9:30 p.m. I have to go but today's poet and poetry and all things are very nice. It was a enjoyable poetry night, no doubt. And Rupali Sirkar ma'am, evergreen and evergreen and evergreen. Thanks for Rupali. Thanks for.
Thank you, ma'am. That was lovely and that's so sweet of you. Happy Bengali New Year and nice rendition. Thank you always. And you're very much spirited, and that's very lovely of think of yours. Please welcome. Please give a round of applause, my dear friends, to Jayashree, Miss Jayashree. As please welcome Saraswati Poshwal, who's the active member and is a promoter of poetry as well.
Good morning, good evening, namaskar, sat sri akal, adab, salam to everyone. Saraswati here from Panipat. Thank you so much, K. Kumar ji and the entire team of Fertile Brains. Today, I would like to dedicate one poem for the Fertile Brains only. This is today only I have written this on the table. So I'll recite that poem. It's only one poem I'm going to recite today, not the another one. It's a long one. So please kindly keep patience. If something wrong, then please kindly. Okay, the title of my poem is Fertile Brain की रेल. Fertile Brain की रेल. रल मिल फर्टाइल ब्रेन्स ने देखो कैसी रेल चलाई. रल मिल फर्टाइल ब्रेन्स ने देखो कैसी रेल चलाई. जोड़ के डब्बा डब्बा देखो लंबी रेल चलाई. जोड़ के डब्बा डब्बा देखो लंबी रेल चलाई. प्रसन्ना जी है इसके चालक. प्रसन्ना जी हैं इसके चालक. रूपाली मैडम इसकी संचालक. रूपाली मैडम है इसकी संचालक. रल मिल फर्टाइल ब्रेन्स ने देखो कैसी रेल चलाई. जोड़ के डब्बा डब्बा देखो लंबी रेल चलाई. रे विटमन को रोड से चढ़े हैं. रे विटमन को रोड से चले हैं. उनके कॉलर ऊपर खड़े हैं. उनके कॉलर ऊपर खड़े हैं. मनीषा हुच्चन यूके से चढ़ी हैं. मनीषा हुच्चन यूके से चढ़ी हैं. डॉक्टर जहांगीर आलम रुस्तम बांग्लादेश से चढ़े हैं. लेफ्टिनेंट कर्नल गोपाल चंद प्रधानी न्यू दिल्ली से हैं वो चढ़े. डॉक्टर मौली जोसेफ केरला से चढ़ी हैं. सोमदत्ता जी कलकत्ता से चढ़ी हैं. उच्चारण की मिसाल बड़ी है. उच्चारण की वो मिसाल बड़ी है. स्वर्ण स्वर्ण सुकारा यूएसए से चढ़ी है, स्वर्ण सुकारा यूएसए से चढ़ी है। कितनी अजब ये रेल है देखो, कितनी अजब ये रेल है देखो। श्रीधरन पाराकोड़े जी केरला से चढ़े हैं, श्रीधरन पाराकोड़े जी केरला से चढ़े हैं। सबने मिलकर कितनी शान बढ़ाई, सबने मिलकर कितनी शान है बढ़ाई। अर्चना बेंद्रे जी और मीना चौहान जी यूपी से चढ़ी हैं, अर्चना बेंद्रे जी और मीनू चौहान जी यूपी से चढ़ी हैं। गेहूं में देखो इनकी खनक बड़ी है, गेहूं में इनकी देखो खनक बड़ी है। जया मैडम बेंगलोर से चढ़ी हैं, जया मैडम बेंगलोर से चढ़ी हैं। रूपाली सीकर जी मेरठ से चढ़ी हैं, रूपाली सीकर जी मेरठ से चढ़ी हैं। शब्दों की वो महारथी बड़ी हैं, शब्दों की वो महारथी बड़ी हैं। डॉक्टर गंगालक्ष्मी जी, श्याम प्रसाद जी दोनों ही कपल बड़े हैं। डॉक्टर गंगालक्ष्मी जी और श्याम प्रसाद पटनायक जी दोनों ही कपल बड़े हैं। नेहले पे दहले दोनों ही चढ़े हैं, नेहले पे दहले दोनों ही चढ़े हैं। ये दोनों भी मेरे भाई बेंगलोर से चढ़े हैं, ये दोनों भी मेरे भाई बेंगलोर से चढ़े हैं। रीना राय जी मुंबई से चढ़ी हैं, रीना राय जी मुंबई से चढ़ी हैं। ये देखो मुंबई का गहना, ये देखो मुंबई का गहना। मारिया एल्वीरा फर्नांडिस ब्राजील से चढ़ी हैं, मारिया एल्वीरा फर्नांडिस जी ब्राजील से चढ़ी हैं। ये देखो डायमंड बड़ा है, ये देखो डायमंड बड़ी है। सरस्वती पोसवाल जी पानीपत से चढ़ी हैं, सरस्वती पोसवाल जी पानीपत से चढ़ी हैं। भिन्न भिन्न है रूप सबके, भिन्न भिन्न है रूप सबके, भिन्न भिन्न है बोली सबकी। भिन्न भिन्न है रूप सबके, भिन्न भिन्न है बोली सबकी। फिर भी एक है जज्बा सबका, फिर भी एक है जज्बा सबका। प्रेम प्रीत है, प्रेम प्रीत है भाईचारा, प्रेम प्रीत है भाईचारा इनका, प्रेम प्रीत है भाईचारा इंजन इनका। इस रेल का उद्देश्य है, इस रेल का उद्देश्य है सबका मेल मिलाना, पूरे विश्व को एक बनाना। संस्कृति का हम एक दूसरे की करे बखाना। सबको मिले पहचान यहाँ पर, सबको मिले पहचान यहाँ पर। यही है कुमार प्रसन्ना जी का पैगाम हमारा। रलमिल फर्टाइल ब्रेन्स ने देखो कैसी रेल बनाई, जोड़ के डब्बा डब्बा देखो कैसी रेल बनाई। धन्यवाद, शुक्रिया। उम्मीद है आपको मेरी ये रेल पसंद आई होगी, आप सब चढ़े इसमें।
My goodness, it becomes like an anthem, ma'am. My God.
It's a wonderful poem, ma'am. It's a
Thank you.
wonderful poem.
Oh, sorry, सोमदत्ता मैम का तो नाम मेंशन था, भूल गई। आई एम सो सॉरी। सोमदत्ता मैडम जी कोलकाता से चढ़ी हैं, बोला है मैंने आपका।
हाँ, बोला है
और
आपने
जयश्री मैम जी दिल्ली से चढ़ी है, जयश्री दिल्ली से चढ़ी,
जयश्री दिल्ली से चढ़ी है।
जयश्री डायमंड दिल्ली से चढ़ी है। मैं दिल्ली से
दिल्ली से चढ़ी मेंशन किया है, बट वो मेंशन करना भूल गई। लैंटन सर भी चढ़े हैं, वो कहाँ से चढ़े हैं? वो लंदन से चढ़े हैं।
This poem is very mesmerizing, ma'am.
Amazing
song, madam. Amazing.
I will get this poem published. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll get this poem published. Thank you. Thank you so much, के कुमार जी, आपका ये रेल बनाने का, ट्रेन बनाने का, आपका शुक्रिया। थैंक यू मैम, रूपाली मैम, सबका ट्रेन बनाने का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। काफी लोग मिसिंग है, बट आई विल गेट दिस पोएम पब्लिश, डेफिनेटली ये पोएम पब्लिश होगी।
थैंक यू सो
पंजाब
मच, रियली ब्यूटीफुल।
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सो मच,
बहुत सुंदर।
थैंक यू मैम। ये अभी लिखा है मैंने, अभी रिसेंटली अभी बैठे हुए लिखा है। मैं मेडिटेशन से आती हूँ 7:30 से 8 बजे, तो मेडिटेशन से मुझे थोड़ा कुछ पावर्स लगता है मिलती है, तो मैंने आकर के यहीं टेबल पे लिखा है।
बहुत सुंदर, बहुत सुंदर।
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Saraswati, for this wonderful tribute. And I think your grandchild को सुनाइएगा.
Yeah, ma'am. Sure. वो अच्छा लगेगा. Yeah, today I'm not feeling थोड़ा सा well, तो थोड़ा सा भी immediately लिखा और immediately सुनाया तो थोड़ा mistakes भी definitely होगा उसमें. Thank you.
That
चलो
shows
उम्मीद है
you the
आपको
love, man.
पसंद आई.
Thank you.
सबको शुक्रिया.
Thank you, my dear friends. And we'll see you next week. And that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prasanna.
Thank you,
Thank
Ravi.
you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you.